Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Syamsul Munir and I'm from English Education Department 2016. Here I want to present my lesson plan that I've made for the final project. So let's see the lesson. Here is it. Okay, here the lesson plan. This lesson plan is, I have used this lesson plan on the teaching practice 2 on my school SMKN 3 Banjarmasin, SMKN 3 Banjarmasin, and this lesson plan have been approved by the tutor teacher. Okay, the name of teacher is Syamsul Munir, the name of school is SMKN 3 Banjarmasin, and the subject English, the grade is 12th grade. The topic is about why don't you visit Seattle, chapter 2 in 12th grade, and the text type is transactional text. For the skill, I use reading and speaking skill. Then time allocation is 15 minutes. The first A, core competence. This core competence has been made by our government, so I just copy paste it. And more information about this on my school SMKN 3 Banjarmasin. They don't use the core competence number 1 and core competence number 2 because they have program before they go to class, before they enter the class, they recite the Al-Quran and repeat the Pancasila and another like Sumpah Pemuda. So the next is B, basic competence, and the indicator same as the core competence. I just copy pasted the basic competence. Then the indicators, here are the indicators 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You can read it. And then part C, learning objective. There are two learning objectives. The one is student can apply social function, text structure, and linguistic element of oral and written transactional text that involve giving and asking for information related to presupposition followed by comment suggestion according to the context of their use. The second is students can compile oral and written transactional text that involve the act of giving and asking for information related to presupposition followed by comment or suggestion by paying attention to social functions, text structure, and correct linguistic element. Next is attitude, values, focus. I use 4: religious, nationalist, integrity, mutual cooperation. Then D, learning materials. The main material is the presupposition followed by common suggestion according to the context of it is. This is the structure, and the material I take from the book. Here is the material from the English book 12th grade in page 17. The text 6 thing to do if you visit Seattle. This the material is for this lesson plan. Let's get back to the lesson plan. So the learning method approach, scientific approach. Then the model is CLT, communicative language teaching. The media, the learning media is in focus, projector, laptop, textbooks. Then the learning source, buku bahasa Inggris kelas 12 dari Kementerian Pendidikan dan Kebudayaan. Then the model, learning material, then another relevant source. This is the teaching and learning activities. There are consists of three main steps or three main stage. First is opening activity, then main activity, and closing activities. For the opening activities, I give it 2 minutes time, and it consists of orientation, perception, motivation, and giving reference. The next is the main activities. I give it 12 minutes. This consists of stimulation, problem statement, data collection, data processing, the verification, and generalization. For the stimulation, we do the literation activities by viewing, observing, reading, and listening. We are reading the textbooks about short transactional text in form of advice, comment using preposition. Then it is on chapter 2, page 15. The problem statement or question problem identifications by asking the questions about what is an advice or comment using presupposition, what is the purpose of advice or comment using presupposition, how many steps for making a good advice or comment using presupposition. Then they will answer by formulate the question or make the question like this: the meaning of advice or comment using presupposition is the general structure and dominant language features of advice comment using presupposition are the function and the steps for making advice or comment using presupposition. The next stage is data collection with the activity like observing the object or phenomenon, interviewing, collecting the information, reading other source beside the textbooks, and another reference, and representing. With activities like the student work in pair to analyze the general function and dominant language features of the advice or comment using presupposition, then the student discuss it with other friends. Discussing, reviewing, then exchange the information about how to make an advice or comments using presupposition. The next is data collection for data processing with discussing about the data, how to identify the transactional text and how to describe and how to make the advice. Then processing information, then student doing the performance, making a simple advice or comment using presupposition. The next stage is verifications. Critical thinking, learning discuss the result of their observation and verify the result of their observation with data theory research book through the activities like adding breadth and depth. Then include with the student and teacher, student and teacher discuss together about the advice and comment using presupposition that have been made by the student. The last is generalization, or we can say it summarize. So with the activities and deliver the result of discussion in form of conclusion, then present the result of classical group discussion, express the opinion on presentation made and responded to by the group, then ask about the other presentations, then summarize the important point. Then answering the questions and ask questions about things that are not understood, complete the competency test. And the last is closing activity, which is 1 minute length. Student will making summary creatively with the guidance of the teacher about the important point that emerged in the new learning activities that came out. Then scheduling the homework, scheduling project that must be studied at the next meeting outside school or at home. Then the teacher is checking the student work completely immediately. Students who have completed the project correctly are initialed and give a ranking number for the project assessment. And the last is give award to a group that have good performance and collaboration. The session plans also include the assessment, remedial, and enrichment, which is divided into two: assessment technique and the rubric. The assessment technique is divided into 3 parts. There is affective, cognitive, and psychomotor. Here is some example of how we give a score. And for rubric, there are 2 rubric: aspect of writing assessment and aspect of speaking assessment. And that is how you score them. And she is my tutor teacher, or the tutor give me advice That's all. I think that's all the lesson plan that I presented today. And I have it clear for you all. If you have some opinions, advice, or some suggestions, some questions, just feel free to ask in the in our group meeting. So sorry if I do some mistake. And the last thing I say is wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.